Today is Friday, Parashat Metzora. It's also the eve of Shabbat Hagadol. This Shabbat is a great Shabbat. It's called Shabbat Hagadol. There are many, many reasons given. This is the Shabbat that the Jewish people in Egypt, after years and years of slavery, are able to have the God of the Egyptians, the lamb, tied to their bedpost in preparation for slaughtering on the day that they'll go out of Egypt. And incredible miracle happens. Their taskmasters, the people who enslaved them for decades, are seeing their God being prepared for sacrifice, and they're not fighting off the Jewish people. On the opposite, there is even a war that started amongst the Egyptians because they realized that the firstborns are going to die in the plague of the firstborn, and it was an incredible miracle of the subduing of the idolatry of the Egyptians in such a stark manner, as their God being tied to the bedposts in preparation for a sacrifice. But there are other reasons given also. Shabbat Hagadol, because the Jewish nation became a people, this Shabbat is Shabbat Hagadol. Now we call the Gadol, just like a person is obligated to follow the mitzvot. Am Yisrael is becoming a nation, and it's called a Gadol. The Midrash says that every day of the week says they have a pair. Sunday has Monday, Tuesday has Wednesday, Thursday has Friday, and Shabbat is saying, what's with me? And the Midrash says, well, your pair is the one that will be paired with you is Am Yisrael. And Am Yisrael is becoming a nation on this Shabbat as they're getting ready to go out of Egypt. Also, the word Gadol appears at the end of the Haftarah of this Shabbat. Yom HaGadol, the great day, we're talking about the redemption, the final redemption. And just like we were taken out of Egypt, and there was the redemption at the time of the Exodus from Egypt, also there will be the redemption and the final redemption in the month of Nisan. So this is about Shabbat Hagadol. But we're moving on in the Seder. We got so far to Kadesh, Urchatz, Karpatz, Yachatz, Magid, Rochtzad. That's where we stopped yesterday. So we continue. Motzi, matza. We say a bracha. We take those 2.5 matzot, one at the full at the top and one full at the bottom, and in between them the middle matzah. We say the bracha hamotzi lechem min haaretz, and then we drop the bottom matzah, and we have now only the top matzah and the half matzah underneath it. And we say the bracha, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu v'tzotzav v'tzivanu al achilat matzah. We have a mitzvah to eat matzah on the night of Pesach. So that's why 2 brachot, matzah al motzi lechem min haaretz, in general, that we say when we're going to eat meat, bread, or in this case the matzah, which is the bread of the night. And we say the bracha for eating the matzah. And then we're supposed to eat, we take a piece from those 2 matzah, that 1.5 matzah, and add to it more from the matzah shmura that is on the table, so that each person should eat at least 30 grams, about 28 grams, kazait, of at least 1 kazait, and some people eat 2 kazait to fulfill 1 for the motzi and 1 for achilat matzah. But let's say even the minimum should be eaten within a short amount of time, according to some opinions, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 9 minutes at the most. So let's say just cut it down the middle, 7.5 minutes. You have 7.5 minutes to eat about 30 grams of matzah shmura, and you're fulfilling a mitzvah through the eating of that matzah. You cannot join anything with that matzah, like add some salad to it or something. It has to be eaten just with the taste of matzah. And that's a very, very important part of the night. You know, we say that we fulfill the mitzvah with the mouth, saying the Haggadah, chanting praises to Hashem. But there is another avodat Hashem, another service of Hashem on the night of Pesach, aside from the Haggadah and the speech, because Pesach, a mouth that speaks, aside from the speech and the praising that we do, there is another service of Hashem that we do on the night with our mouth, which is the eating the matzah, the drinking the 4 cups, the eating the Maror. All these are mitzvot that are incumbent on each of us to do on the night of Pesach. So you eat the matzah leaning to the left, very important. That's part and parcel of fulfilling the mitzvah. And then after that, the next is Maror. What is Maror? Is we take kazait, about 30 grams, 28 grams of Maror, which we use in our community, romaine lettuce. We dip it in the charoset. But when we dip it in the charoset, the main thing is the romaine lettuce, not the charoset. We shake off some of the charoset. Those that like charoset, you can eat it in the korech, which will come a little bit later, together with the matzah and the romaine lettuce. But here, just dip it a little bit in the charoset, which is reminiscent of the cement, of the what they used in building in Egypt as slaves. And then, before you eat that romaine lettuce, you say bracha, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam asher kideshanu v'tzivanu v'tzivanu al achilat maror. We have a commandment to eat the maror, which is bitter, it has some bitterness to it, and this is to remind us of the bitterness that was felt in the slavery. So, Motzi, matzah, maror, korech. The next one is korech. Korech, we take again 28 grams of matzah, and this will be from the bottom matzah now that was dropped on the table, and you add to it from other matzot you have there, and you take also again kazait of romaine lettuce, and you put charoset, and now there's no problem to have extra charoset on there if you want, and you eat them again leaning, and you say זכר למקדש בימינו יחודש כהלל הזקן שהיה קורחן ואוכלן בבת אחת לקיים מה שנאמר על מצות ומרורים יאכלו. You say this is in remembrance of the Mikdash, and just like Hillel HaZaken used to wrap them together and eat them together, and because the Korban Pesach was eaten together with matzot and bitter herbs. So we're up to this point in the Seder, and we'll continue, God willing, Bezat Hashem, on Sunday. Baruch Adonai le'olam amen ve'amen, and Shabbat Shalom, and Shabbat Hagadol Shalom Bakshiri.